Shabbat Shalom. Welcome to Teshuvah Bible Study. My name is Van, and we're doing part 2 of this series that is talking about blood and how blood is connected to Passover, connected to Yeshua. And in this second video, we're going to talk about the letter Mem, and how it is connected to the letter, the blood, how the connection of the letter Mem, the symbol of the letter Mem, translate into the blood that we're studying right now. So a quick recap, right? Quick recap. We were talking about how the word dam, which is the word for blood, has two symbols, two pictographs. The mem, which is actually, again, if we're going to go forward to backwards, we should be talking about the dollar, but I'm going to go from the left to the right. So we're going to talk about the mem right now, which is a symbol of waters or liquid. And we're going to look at that closer. And then we're going to talk about the dalet. And then finally, on the last video, we're going to talk about how they all tie together and connect to Passover. So mem, right? The letter mem, the symbol, the pictograph for mem is this squiggly line over here that actually does look like water. And the symbol for the mem is actually waters, and it's actually waters in plural. And there's a reason for that. Like in Hebrew, you don't have water singular like we do. In Hebrew, is waters is a word that is already plural, because again, you can't quantify water, right? You can't separate a single molecule of water, which makes sense. So in Hebrew, it actually makes more sense that the word is in plural. It's maim, which means waters in plural, and it begins with the letter mem. And even in the modern Hebrew, which is the letters over here, this is the ancient pictograph up here on the above my head on the left. But even in the modern Hebrew, we have two symbols for the letter mem. There's this mem here that's called the mem sophit. And again, we read this from the right to the left. So that means that right now, the mem here is in the final position, is in the end of the word, even though it looks for us at the beginning, right? Like we're used to reading in English, but we read in Hebrew from right to left. So this is the last letter of the word. And the final form of the word, it's closed like this. It looks like a closed mem. And when it is in the middle or the beginning of a word, like the one on the bottom here, we have the open mem. So it actually symbolizes two different types of water. It could be a closed body of water, which is usually calm, tranquil, like the lake, like the waters on the lake, right? Usually there's not a lot of turbulence, or there are no waves in a lake. Or it's turbulent waters or open waters, which is like ocean, for example. The ocean are open waters. There's no container. It's open waters. So it's actually chaotic, right? There's waves all the times. And sometimes we have actually storms in the ocean. And that's what the open letter of the word means. So waters, the letter mem can symbolize tranquil waters, like the ones that is talked about in Psalm 23, right? It says that the Lord is my shepherd, and it says that he guides us in calm or tranquil waters. It's talking about this symbol right here. And or it could be chaotic, turmoil, confusion, which is like the open version of this. It's also connected to pregnancy. So the closed mem symbolizes a woman who is a virgin. In fact, the word for virgin, I think it has the mem, the closed mem. And the open mem, it symbolizes a woman who has had children, right? And the word for mom, for example, uses ima, has the mem that is open, because a woman who is a mother is no longer a virgin. So it's very interesting how the symbolism says a lot, right? It's also the number 40 in Hebrew. So the mem is the number 40 in Hebrew. And the number 40 usually symbolizes trials, tribulations, um, or even punishment from God. And we see, like, for example, that the Israelites were wandering in the desert for 40 years because they um, disobeyed God and they didn't believe God, and they sent the spies to the land for 40 days, and then they were punished for 40 years in the desert. So it symbolizes punishment and trials too. So Jesus was tempted in the desert for 40 days. So that's a trial. But it's also revelation from God. So, for example, Moses went up to the mountain in Sinai for 40 days and he received Torah. He received the commands from Elohim in those 40 days. So there's a lot of symbolism in this letter alone and in the numbers. Let's look at some of the ones that I found online here. So again, everything that I said probably, like in the letter means water. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of small. Let me see if I could zoom in. Can I zoom in? Okay. Yeah, okay. I don't know if that's better. Okay, there you go. So yeah, it means water. It should be waters, plural. Again, I told you it has the number 40, and it also is a prefix, right? So it means from or of or out of when you put it into words in front of a word. It's a prefix. So it has a lot of connections. And yeah, see, it has two forms. So everything that I just told you, it's easily found on Google. If you Google it, you'll see that everything that I said can be confirmed. But what I wanted to talk about the mem, well, actually, yeah, what I wanted to talk about the mem in this case here is directly connected to blood, right? We're talking about blood. So if we go back to this PowerPoint, I picked these two words on purpose. Again, if it's blood within a closed container, in other words, I have blood inside my body right now. My heart is pumping blood throughout my body, right? And that blood, as we saw in Leviticus 17, it's the life of the being. It's the life that liquid contains my life, right? So, as we saw in Leviticus verse 17, let me put it up real quickly again, that the life of the flesh is in the blood. So as long as you have blood in your veins, in your body, you have life. But as soon as you lose that blood, you're going to die. And it's very interesting how the pictograph and the imagery connects to this symbol as well. So again, on a closed container, the mem, on the closed mem, we have the word life. So the word that I have here in blue is Haim, and it means Haim, right? Haim means life in Hebrew. So Haim means life, and it contains the closed mem. So as long as my blood is within my body and it's pumping throughout my body, I have life. But as soon as I have an opening and my blood spills out, or if I cut myself, or if I get stabbed or shot and my blood spills out of my body, then I get the word death in Hebrew. It's fascinating. Again, so the word that's here below is mavet, right? And that means death in Hebrew. So Haim means life, and it contains the mem, closed mem. So blood within our body in a closed container, which is our body, produces life. And when you cut yourself, or you get shot, or you get wounded and your blood flows out of your body, there's an opening, then you get death, right? So, and the verb to die or dying is mot, which again starts with the same mem. It starts with the same letter, mot. It means to die, is a verb, right? So this is mavet means death in Hebrew. So again, fascinating the connections that we see with the letters, their symbol, and how everything is so detailed in the Hebrew language. I just love it. And this is my favorite kind of Bible studies exactly because of that. It's just, it says so much with so little. And it just confirms to me, at least, that God's word is perfect. The God's word was divinely inspired, and it actually shows us our physical reality, how everything's tied to the words, to the symbols, to the letters, and everything is explained within the Hebrew. A word in Hebrew forms a sentence that, if you look at that sentence and you look at the meaning of that sentence, it tells you a lot about the word itself. So again, here we see the word dam, which has the mem, and the mem. And another thing that I wanted to kind of point out is that the mem by itself also could mean blood, right? So we don't even need to have the whole word dam to see the meaning of blood in it. So let me see. Where was it? Oh, hold on. Let me zoom out again because I think I zoomed in too much, and then. But anyway, the word the letter mem by itself can also mean blood. That's one of the definitions of the mem. So so anyway, I think that's enough about the mem. I want to speak about the dalet on the next one. So again, I say lehitraot. I see you guys on part 3 where we're going to discuss the dalet. Shalom.